Gwen. What a surprise seeing you here. I didn't think you attended these New Year's office parties. You look simply smashing.
Thanks. Usually I don't attend these parties. But I decided to this year. Stacking all of that silver gets a bit boring.
Boring? Sounds like you need to mix it up a bit. Why don't you toss in some Somali elephants or Fiji tacos?
Actually, I'm glad we ran into each other because I'm thinking of investing differently next year.
Really? How's that?
Well, this friend of mine has convinced me that with silver prices so low, it's a good time to jump into the mining stocks. So this year I will be putting all my money into them instead of stacking physical silver.
Mining stocks? Ha 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 ho 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 hee hee hee. Gwen, have you ever heard of the term epic fail?
Peter, are you mocking me? That's not very nice.
Sorry, Gwen. I just find it shocking that after discovering the secret of physical silver, you will go back to investing in worthless bits of paper.
But they are not worthless. They are valuable ownership rights of the companies which mine silver and gold.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. Why did you start investing in physical silver in the first place?
Because you convinced me that saving my money in dollars is dangerous because they can be printed at will by spendthrift politicians.
Correct. So now you've decided to go back to investing in pieces of paper that can be printed at will, the shares of mining stocks?
No, that's not true. Shares of stock cannot be counterfeited. There are only so many of them issued. That is how they increase in value.
Are you sure about that? Have you ever heard of naked shorting and failures to deliver?
No. What are those?
Naked shorting is where people sell shares of stock which they don't own and have never borrowed. And failures to deliver are where people who shorted borrowed stock never end up delivering it.
But that is simply counterfeiting stock. Isn't that illegal?
Counterfeiting dollars is illegal too, but that doesn't seem to slow down the Federal Reserve much, does it? So you are trusting the very same government which is counterfeiting its own currency, as well as allowing gold and silver to be suppressed, to stop naked shorting.
But if the laws of shorting are not properly enforced, and people can counterfeit shares of mining companies, then mining shares are just as worthless as paper dollars.
Exactly. But it gets even worse.
Really? How's that?
Did you know that the poor countries of Central and South America mine nearly half of all the world's silver?
No.
It's true. Mexico, Peru, Bolivia, Chile, and Argentina mine nearly half of the silver every year. When those poor people find out that their most valuable national resource has been mined and sold off for pennies on the dollar, what do you think they'll do?
They will probably elect someone who makes Hugo Chavez look like a choir boy.
And in that case, you can imagine what will happen to your mining shares when those countries start nationalizing their mines. But it's even worse than that.
Worse? How could it be worse than that?
Because you agree that gold and silver prices are suppressed, don't you?
Yes.
And you agree that inflation is higher than what the government is reporting.
Yes.
But you expect companies who mine a resource whose price is suppressed, and whose costs are understated, to make a profit.
Well, now that you put it that way, I can see that mining gold or silver in the current environment of suppressed metals prices and understated mining costs would be a bad business idea.
And that would explain why many of the mining shares have returned less of a gain than the metals themselves.
Yes. I see what you are saying.
So, do you still plan on investing in mining stocks next year?
No. I can see now that investing in mining stocks is a really bad idea, and I'm going to continue stacking physical silver instead.
Excellent. Goodbye.